Without revealing too much, we're stirring up fun or trouble, depending on how you look at it, in our continuing look at pop culture. Welcome to Pop Studio, and as always, I'm here with Pam Fisher, who brought some of her features team along with us. Who do we have today?
So we have new reporter on the features team, Shelby Reynolds from Kansas, and we have Christine Gill, who is launching a new cocktail culture column.
Now, should we card Shelby today? Is it yeah.
She just graduated from college. That might be a good idea.
Okay, so she's our insider. Now, you want to talk about craft cocktails. What exactly is that, and how is that different from what we may have called mixed drinks? Are these more special?
Yeah, so building on the locavore trend where ingredients are locally sourced and fresh, you will find more local herbs, in-house distilled essences, like floral essences are being used a lot. Juices, they hand juice at the bars, yeah.
Wow, and is Christine finding out that they're very proprietary about these? I know you have a weekly column now.
Yeah, and I think they should be, because we were talking about the idea that they're local cocktails. You should only be able to get that one cocktail that one place, especially if they came up with it. But Pam's right, they juice these lemons and limes every day. I met with people at Bartulia who even create their own simple syrups and bitters. So pretty much everything there, aside from the liquor, which is the base, is something that they've come up with themselves.
And you found out that they don't want to even really share their technique or their ingredients with you?
Right, so they'll tell you what's in it, and that's all on the menu, and that's something that we'll feature in our weekly column, but how they mix it up is all up to them. So.
Was that popular on college campuses? Did people, when I was younger, you'd go into bars and play Stump the Bartender and people would come up with crazy names for drinks. Oh, yeah. Is it still like that?
Oh yeah, it's unusual to find just the weirdest ingredients. I mean, I still get freaked out anytime I see a jalapeno like sitting on the top of my glass. I just kind of pick that off, but I'm gonna get used to it eventually, I'm sure.
Now, what's the weekly column gonna be like? Is it gonna be just trying different, sampling different?
Yeah, so we're gonna try to go around to a different bar every week. The first time, like I said, it was Bartulia. They had one for us, and this past week we went to Koi Lounge in Tokyo Bay, which is up in Bonita Springs, and they had two. So it's pretty much whatever these different bars want to feature for us, but they are very handcrafted, very local.
And we're hoping that you'll have the ingredients, and some of them will share the proportions of the ingredients that you can try and make them at home. It won't be an exact replica because you probably aren't going to hand distill your own hibiscus essence, right? You want to talk about the hibiscus?
So we didn't sample that one yesterday, but Koi Lounge has a hibiscus drink where I guess it's a little more bitter than you would think. It's floral, but it's not very sweet. They will actually make syrups out of that in the back, for the day of, and then these are edible flowers, so they have them in the drink too.
So it might inspire you to try something else at home too, that would mix up some different flavors and herbs and things like that.
Yeah, and so the balance of flavors in a craft cocktail will be different. So you might get a sweet and an herbal, or a bitter and a floral. And so I tried a drink at Massa's over the weekend that was a cucumber margarita, and they actually steep the tequila with the cucumber. And so it gets this really gentle, mellow, non-acidic flavor to a margarita. You still get the lime, but it's just balanced differently.
Now, is this mostly bar fare, or would you have this with your dinner? Because it sounds like you really might have to pick a selection going with a steak or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much about pairing as it is about enjoying those flavors the way they're intended to be enjoyed, So it's like, do you want to eat while you're trying to drink this very complex drink? Do you want to be able to taste all the layers of it? So
that's a good word for it.
Yeah, I think it's something that you definitely just have on its own and enjoy the whole thing. So
yeah. And we're also looking at kind of, I think what makes that popular is the authenticity of having that, very small batches, very thoughtfully prepared. And you said that we had some other stories this week that kind of lend itself to that theme as well.
Right, so Christine stumbled on a techie who left the software industry to take over a small locally owned donut shop, Peace, Love, and Donuts.
Peace, Love, and Little Donuts, yeah. So they're these little guys, they're about the half size of a normal donut that you would get at like Dunkin' or something, but what makes them different is that they make them every morning, so they're never frozen. And then what's different about each one of those is the flavors that they add on top. So they'll add like different cereals, like you can see like Fruity Pebbles on top of them, or even like Lucky Charms. So the kids like the really brightly colored ones.
I've seen the bacon ones.
Yeah.
I think we've all seen that.
So they do that kind of stuff, and each individual batch, they were putting the flavors right on in front of us. So.
Any jalapenos for Shelby?
No, nothing spicy.
Never a donut, please.
Well,
no.
I know, I've seen your video of that and it looks super yummy, and I think we're gonna have to get there and try it. And that really wraps up this edition of Pop Studio. Thanks for joining us.